Little Georgia peach from Decatur, where it's greater. East side chick, she ain't never been a hater. A boss and a baddie, yeah, she ain't your average. She do her makeup thing, call that a MUA.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, go ahead and click subscribe so you can stay up to date with all of this good information I'm going to be giving you. But today we're going to be talking about concealers. Concealer is going to be one of the most important steps in your makeup routine because it does so much more than just cover up your imperfections, y'all. Concealer is used to help brighten, sculpt, lift, and bring structure to your face. And when you use it correctly, it will completely elevate your makeup look. Lighter concealers are perfect for brightening and highlighting, especially underneath your eyes, while darker concealers are going to be great for contouring and adding definition to your face. So let's get into my concealer routine. I like to use my Sephora Collection concealer in the shade 33N, which is going to be closest to my natural skin tone with a bit of extra added brightness. And I'm going to start by highlighting right underneath my eyes, my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, and right on my chin. And these are my high points of the face, and this is where we want the light to naturally hit. Placing concealer underneath your eye is just going to add extra brightness and counteract any dullness or puffiness that you may have, while highlighting on your forehead is going to draw attention to your forehead where the sun peaks, while adding concealer down the bridge of your nose is going to create you a structured nose. And then adding concealer on your chin is just going to help bring balance to your whole look. And before blending, I like to go in with my setting spray to help lock this makeup in. And then I'm going to go ahead and use a damp beauty blender. Remember, y'all, damp beauty blender. I still have some of y'all coming to me telling me that you're using a dry beauty blender. That's not how that works. And look what happens. Look how it expands after I wet it. So I wet my beauty blender. I squeeze out all the excess water. It's going to be damp. It's going to be soft to the feel. And it's going to be able to pick up and move that product exactly where I want it. And you see how this concealer really does just match my natural skin tone. It just adds some brightness. We went on ahead and we removed some of that redness that I had. We covered up any puffiness that was under my eye. And then we're just going to bring light and drama to the temples of our middle of our forehead, down the bridge of our nose, and our chin. And notice that I'm tapping. I'm not dragging the product. And this is going to keep the product and the coverage exactly where I want it. So for extra brightness, this step is going to be optional, but if you would like, you can go in with an even lighter concealer, one that's going to be about 3 to 4 shades lighter than your natural skin tone, and you're going to apply that right underneath in the inner corners of your eye. And remember, you don't have to do this step. I don't do this on a day-to-day basis, only when I'm going out somewhere and I just want to add to the brightness underneath my eye. It does make a difference from when I want to just be natural and look like myself versus when I just want a little more drama and, add to the look. And whenever I do this step, I also like to go ahead and set this concealer with a fan for a couple minutes just so that this product does not move as much. And going back in with that beauty blender, and I'm just going to tap that product right where I want to blend it, only moving that product where I want it to go. And now we're just going to set this concealer underneath our eyes, and I'm going in with my Airspun Translucent Setting Powder. I love this setting powder so much. I think it's supposed to be considered beginner friendly. I've been on it since I started in the makeup game, and while I don't use it on my clients, I still love it for myself. And I like to first set with a fluffy brush, and that's just so that I can have a little control about getting this setting powder into the crease area. You don't want to set a crease, so I go ahead and make sure I blend out the creases underneath my eye, but I like to use a brush to make sure that I can set where my eye would crease. And then I like to go in with my powder brush Not even a brush, it's a sponge. I like to go in with my sponge and set underneath my eye the rest of my face with that powder brush. So this step is a non-negotiable. You need to do it anytime you place a cream or a liquid product on your face. You need to set. So we're just going to set anywhere that we place this concealer, which would be underneath our eyes, on our forehead, down the bridge of our nose, and right on our chin. And I'm just going to go back in and set my face. I love doing this because it rehydrates where we place that powder, as well as lock this product right into my skin so she doesn't move. And then I'm going to go back in with my beauty blender and just press these products in together, making everything melt into my skin. So following these steps here, you could go in with a cream contour concealer, which would be a deeper shade than your natural skin tone to contour. I don't use a cream contour, so I didn't add that in this video. If you would like to see how to contour with a cream or a liquid concealer, let me know. I'll put out a tutorial for you and I'll show you how to get your face snatched, okay? But this is the final look as far as concealer goes. Thank you so much. I hope you learned something in this tutorial. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Mwah.